Hey guys, Josh here, and I'm going to tell you some of the techniques that I use to make my 360 videos more immersive and more engaging. So a couple of months ago, a client approached me to create 9 2 to 4 minute long 360 tours. They had an old 360 tour, but it felt clunky and boring. And despite not using 360 cameras before and learning from the mistakes from the old video and grabbing some cool ideas from other creators, I was able to make something that I'm pretty proud of and the client really enjoyed. So these are some of the techniques that I used in no particular order. Let's start with split framing. My idea of split framing came from the idea that with 360 video you can look anywhere, but you might not have something that's relevant in the frame in the whole 360 space. So you can spice it up by adding more elements to the frame. So plan the shoot so that you don't have to move the camera. You can shoot however many actions you want into the 360 space. Import your stuff into Premiere. Import the footage and then put it into the timeline and put the clip of the other action on top of the footage that you have as your base. Then put an opacity mask around the area where you want to have the new action, and bam, you have something else that's relevant to look at in the 360 space. You can also try this technique with different locations. By blending 2 or more locations in the 360 space. For best results, you want to keep the height of the 360 video consistent, otherwise it might make the footage look a bit unusual. Utilize Ambisonic Sound. By using Ambisonic Sound, you have the ability to change how the scene feels through sound. The location of the sound changes based on where the viewer is facing the device in the 360 space. By directing where the viewer should look, you give the viewer some agency in choosing where to look and what to listen to, making the experience more immersive. Add 2D elements into the 360 video. By adding, say, a 16:9 frame into the 360 space, you utilize the 360 space while also making the video more interactive and engaging. These are especially useful when you are making a tour video and want to guide the viewer with a script. With a 360 camera, you can't necessarily use a teleprompter. Therefore, using a traditional camera and then superimposing it into the 360 space is a simple solution. You can also use graphics and text to help point out certain things in the frame to give further explanation. Simply import your footage, drag it into a timeline, go to effects, and apply the plane to sphere effect. You'll then be able to adjust its position in the 360 space. Use seamless transitions. One of my pet peeves with 360 videos is when the editor will decide to use no transition between scenes, just one hard cut. Hard cuts don't well in the 360 video because, say, if you wanted to do a match cut, you can't guarantee that the viewer is looking at the place you want them to. 360 video clips are generally long in length, and therefore cutting away after a long time is especially jarring. So my favorite type of wipe is the iris wipe. So all you have to do is have 2 clips next to each other, drag the iris wipe effect between the 2 clips, just like a normal transition. The transition itself is preset from going left to right, but I like the look of the transition when it comes from top to bottom. So just change the Y value to 0. And I like the look of it going from 3 to 6 seconds and spreading it out a bit to do a smooth wipe. I'll be making a video soon on an easy space-saving way to get over the tripod in your clips without affecting the quality of your final export, so you should subscribe. Yeah. Play with your camera settings. Try out long exposure time lapses, or mounting the camera to like a car or a drone, using slow motion. You are limited to what camera you have, but even with the smaller models like the Insta 360-1X, you still have heaps of flexibility. Think of how you can fit different recording modes to engage the viewer, and if it does fit with the story you are trying to tell. Thanks for watching, and I hope you took something valuable away. What are some of the immersive techniques that you use in your 360 videos? Leave a comment, and if you have any questions about it, I'll try and answer to the best of my ability. This video is the start of a series dedicated to sharing the techniques and tricks I had to learn on the job, some of which aren't readily available to learn on YouTube, and I pretty much just had to learn everything from experience. So if that's down your alley, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you next Thursday. See ya.